All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to try to wrap up a couple things today. Now, what I told you, let's go with and this is not a joke. Some saying it's a housekeeper. I got a message saying it's Menendez's housekeeper. But let's go with 35, okay? Fox did the story. Only one did the story. There's number 35. Dems meet with lobbyists in Puerto Rico. And there is number 36. Okay, Dems take in Hamilton in Puerto Rico. There's New Jersey Senator, Democrat Bob Menendez with, somebody sent me a message that said that's his housekeeper. But anyhow, he is checking out the bikinis on the beach there in Puerto Rico this weekend while TSA agents are home, not being paid. And there's number 37. Dems take in Hamilton and Puerto Rico. And that being said, that story, okay, they took in the resorts where rooms run about $429 a night. The participants paid for they paid for their own Hamilton tickets, okay? Hamilton creator began 2-week run of a full hit Friday in Puerto Rico. Let's see here, range from tickets for opening night range from $10 to $5,000 according to Associated Press. Okay, and let's see here. Around 109 lobbyists and corporate executives are named in a memo welcoming the guest, which included some from the prominent Washington firms R.J. Reynolds, Facebook, Comcast, Amazon, Pharma, Microsoft, Intel, Verizon, and unions like the National Education Association. Okay? There was, let me see, I have the number, it's one of them here. While there's day 22, this was day 22, we are now in the longest shutdown in the government history. There was a number here of how many went down there, but let's see what the other one here has. Democrat Menendez spotted partying with bikini girls in Puerto Rico during government shutdown. That was on day 22. And I forget how many, there was like 23, I think there was 23 Democrats down there on a private, they took a private chartered plane, down there to do their partying. So you can look that story up, because if that was getting the same airtime you can get rid of those pictures. Now, if you can go to the Wall Street Journal, the opinion page, money in the wrong hands. Mayor de Blasio, we just put that up in New York. He said the money's in the wrong hands. This comes at a time when polling says that when polling Democrats, over 51% identify themselves as liberal. It's no longer the ugly word it used to be in the Democrat Party. Now, the New York Times brought out this. We're looking at Trump being a spy. All jokes aside, okay? And you have you got the New York Times bombshell, okay? And then you have the Washington Post. Here are the 18 reasons. There's some articles that you should go read. Let's go ahead and take that down and just go ahead and put up number 24. All right. The Washington Post has, here are 18 reasons Trump could be a Russian asset. Okay. So that's in the Washington Post. Washington Post then runs another one. The Trump-Putin revelation tells us what we knew all along. What we knew all along. This is an opinion by Anna Applebaum. All right. She writes his opinion of what we knew all along. That's in the Post. But here is the best. This explains in detail, because what we find out is right after President Donald Trump fired James Comey, okay, An inquiry was launched into President Trump possibly being a Russian operative. Seriously, folks. I mean, that's where we've gone in this country. How many times does the media say we don't attack our political opponents? I guess we just investigate them with the FBI. You know, every time I think about the Trump, let me say this to you out there. Maybe you're my age or a little older, but let me say to you out there, every time there's an investigation or a discussion of investigation into Trump, considering what's going on with the NSA, our intelligence, okay, our FBI, our Department of Justice, don't you wish we would have had this internet thing when JFK was battling maybe the same things? Don't you wish we'd have had this internet thing when Hoover, shredded all the files, they disappeared? Don't you wish we'd have had this internet thing so we'd have Hoover's private files that disappeared? Yes. Don't you wish we'd have had this internet thing back with Kennedy when Hoover launched all of his personal investigations into people in this country? It's interesting. But I don't want to lose this point. The Daily Caller, okay? Peter Strzok expressed concerns that there's no big deal. There is no big deal. It's not there. The FBI opened a counterintelligence investigation into whether President Donald Trump was a Russian agent just days after he fired James Comey. But days after the FBI opened the probe, Peter Strzok, the Bureau's lead investigator on the Russia matter, expressed concern that there's no big there. Remember? Regarding the collusion investigation, Special Counsel Robert Mueller took over the counterintelligence investigation. Actually, this was launched before we agreed. They will not talk about that. This was launched before we agreed and gave Rod Rosenstein the powers to appoint a special prosecutor and say, yes, go ahead. The guy, Barr, right? Is it William Barr that's going to be on the Hill starting tomorrow? The Department of Justice is going to be the Attorney General. And they're going to be grilling him all week. Will he protect Mueller? Will you protect Robert Mueller? Will you protect the Mueller investigation? Because, see, the Mueller investigation was started before we, the American people, authorized Mueller to go forward with the investigation through congressional powers there that appointed him through the Department of Justice. And we can't find Department of Justice U.S. State Attorney Huber out in Utah. We can't find him anywhere. We could never get, we've got a major problem in the FBI and the Department of Justice. And we sent then the Department of Justice, Acting Attorney General, okay, Jeff Sessions, a letter, Congress did, Republicans, saying we want a special counsel to investigate Hillary Clinton, basically. We'll just leave it at that right now. And we basically want an investigation into the FBI and the Department of Justice. Well, they said they wouldn't appoint a special counsel to look into the FBI and possible bias, or the Department of Justice, which you have Nellie Orr and all the above, and Fusion GPS, every one of them. But they would put somebody to look at the matter. And they named U.S. Attorney Huber out in Utah, and we can't even find the guy. We don't know where he is, nothing. Why don't the media help us find Huber to see what he's been doing and see what his witnesses say? All right, it's so you want to go, if you want to really dig into this, you want to go to flashback. Peter Strzok expressed concern that there's no big there, in collusion probe, and that's on the Daily Caller, and that is right now today on the Daily Caller. You need to go there, and if you will read that in detail, the text messages that had been sent out, Lisa Page, former FBI attorney, and Peter Strzok, lead investigator, Michael Flynn, Hillary Clinton. Oh my God, the list goes on. All right, so right here, number 47. All right. If you're going to tell me that you think you had to open, all right, and it's not in the New York Times article, it's not till like paragraph 9 before they ever say there's nothing there. If you read the article, they found nothing. There was nothing to publicly report. But you have Comey, you have Peter Strzok, you have Deputy Director McCabe. There's no one ever says in that article who launched the investigation. It had to be McCabe, right? He was then acting FBI director, and there's attorney Lisa Page, and there's Christopher Wray. Is he now the head of the FBI? That FBI, we've got a serious problem. Because you and I both know if they've gone through everything they've gone through and they can't publicly come out and announce that the true collusion is within the Democrat Party. The true collusion is within the FBI and the deep state. We know that. You and I know that. I mean, it's frustrating to us. Go to number 48. Just look at these cast of characters. There's, why did the name escape me? I don't write these names down because I like to test myself, but there's Comey, McCabe, Susan Rice. There's Clapper. That's the guy with the ears down there. It looks like he's going to take off any minute. There's Sally Yates. Sally Yates was the acting attorney general between Loretta Lynch and Jeff Sessions. There's Lisa Page. And there's Peter Strzok and Hayden, right? Is that Hayden? Is that who he is? I don't know. These are just a list. And they're looked in to see if the president is a double agent for Russia. Folks, it's almost time for instant replay at 10. So let me roll through a couple pictures I hacked out this morning just to see. Okay, number 11. I want you to look at the time. These are the reasons I put these up. This is what they lead with in the mornings. MSNBC, this is a CNN poll working together at 3:02 a.m. Mountain Time. I know it's so rude, but right out of the box, you see what they building a wall along the entire U.S.-Mexican border, CNN, 56 opposed, 39 are in favor of it. Well, maybe the entire border, people thought, well, maybe it's not necessary for the entire. I'm not for the entire border. Maybe that's what happened. But this is what they're running with, okay? Number 12, 2:02 a.m. this morning Pacific time, right out of the box, FBI opened inquiry on whether Trump was secretly working on behalf of the Russians. Okay, number 13, New York Times, this is at 5:02 a.m. Eastern Times, right out of the box. This is what they're with. Oh, they missed the little taxi story and $26 million and the corruption between Cohen and his father-in-law. FBI opened inquiry on whether Trump was secretly working on behalf of Russia. Counterintelligence investigators had to consider whether the president's own actions constituted possible threat of national security. Adam Schiff and all of the pieces of garbage there will say that their big concern is the president has been compromised. That's what, let's go to 14. Agents and senior FBI officials have grown suspicious of Trump's ties to Russia during the 2016 campaign. All right, and with an inquiry of such sensitivity and magnitude, number 15. There's number 15. Let's go to 16. Number 16. Rod, and look at the timestamp. I don't know if you can see it at home. 5:04 in the morning. All right, Eastern time. Even after Deputy Attorney General Rod J. Rosenstein wrote a more restrained draft of the letter, it told Trump that he did not have to mention the Russian investigation. Mr. Trump directed Mr. Rosenstein to mention the Russian investigation anyway. Number 17, they don't tell you this till page 9. No evidence, the 9th paragraph in the article, no evidence has emerged publicly that Mr. Trump was secretly in contact with or took direction from Russian government officials. No evidence emerged publicly. So they're trying to imply there's something out there. We just don't have it. Number 18, Trump went on a tweet storm over the weekend. 19, Lester Holt, okay, interview, 5:04 this morning, just showing you some of the pictures. Number 20, 4:04, Lester Holt. Now they want the translators' notes. They want all the translators' notes, and I don't know the executive branch, if they have to do that, of Trump. Every conversation Trump's ever had with Putin, they feel this gives them every reason to want those. All right, now here comes from the House chairman warned president not to intimidate witnesses. This is Michael Cohen, all right? So let's go at number 22. Now, Michael Cohen will be testifying this week, and they will ooze all over him about the courage for him to come before Congress. Remember, I told you that. And what did Trump do? Trump said, hey, all right, just go out and Google his father-in-law and start digging in. I don't remember his name. What's his name? I don't remember. Just look up his father-in-law. Start digging in, all right, to the cab company, all right? Well, hey, you know what? House chairman warned president not to intimidate witnesses, meaning don't tell the truth, meaning don't let the American people. Listen to this, the integrity of our process to serve. Integrity. How the hell did they get off using the word integrity? The integrity of our process to serve as an independent check on the executive branch must be respected by everyone, including the president. Our nation's law prohibit efforts to discourage, intimidate. What is that? Efforts to tell the truth? Is you think the laws prohibit us and provide efforts to tell the truth? Efforts to prohibit, efforts to discourage, intimidate, or otherwise pressure a witness not to provide testimony to Congress. Signed by Elijah Cummings, chair of the Oversight, Representative Adam Pisa Schiff, Intelligence Committee, and Gerard Nadler, Judiciary. And you don't think they're headed down the road? Number 23, House Chairman, same group there. The president should make no statement or take any action to obstruct Congress' independent oversight and investigation efforts. Really? Including by seeking to discourage any witnesses from testifying in response to a duly authorized request. Maybe they're going to break into all this cab stuff. All right, maybe they are. And here's one I want to get to. Okay, I want to get to this. I didn't get to all the approval ratings, but go to number 31, all right? And this is so insulting. It really is. Whites without a college degree, President Trump's approval rating, CNN. Approval, 45, down 9 points. Down 9 points. Disapproval, 47, up 8. His disapproval's up. But, you know, the thing they wanted to say is he's even losing the dumbasses out there. All right, I gave you some good information to go look at. All you sports fans, stay with us. I did not want to upset everybody that watches NFL. Luther and Dave can do that if they talk about football. In our next segment, you go to Team FYN Sports and Facebook page and get ready for instant replay. I'll be back tomorrow morning, give you a full report on what's happening down in Atlanta today. I'm out.